Olivier Messiaen was one of the leading composers of 20th century France. His lifespan coincided almost exactly with the 20th century. His most well-known works include the Quartet for the End of Time, which was written and premiered in a German prisoner of war camp during World War II, and the Turangalila Symphonie, a massive 10-movement work for orchestra, piano solo, and an unusual electronic instrument known as the onde marteneau. In addition to his stature as a composer, Messiaen made a huge impact on 20th century music by being a great teacher, whose students included Pierre Boulez, Ioannis Xenakis, and Karl-Heinz Stockhausen. My research project focused on the extramusical annotations to be found in the music of Messiaen. Extramusical here means anything in the score that doesn't have a specific notational value. In other words, that is not a note, an expressive marking, a dynamic, or a tempo marking. Several different kinds of extramusical annotations can be found throughout the scores of Messiaen. For example, the score to the Quartet for the End of Time has a lengthy preface outlining the programmatic intent of each movement. Messiaen wrote these texts himself and had them included with the published score of the quartet. By way of example, here is Messiaen's description of the seventh movement.
Fouillis d'arc-en-ciel pour l'ange qui annonce la fin du temps.
Tangle of rainbows for the angel who announces the end of time. Recurring here are certain passages from the second movement. The angel appears in full force, especially the rainbow that covers him. The rainbow, symbol of peace, wisdom, and all luminescent and sonorous vibration. In my dreams, I hear and see ordered chords and melodies, known colors and shapes. Then, after this transitional stage, I pass through the unreal and suffer with ecstasy a tournament, a roundabout compenetration of superhuman sounds and colors. These swords of fire, this blue-orange lava, these sudden stars, there is the tangle, there are the rainbows. Messiaen's massive piano cycle, 20 Regards on the Infant Jesus, contains a lengthy author's note at the beginning of the score, as well as literary annotations at the head of each movement, serving a similar function as the preface in the quartet. The 20 Regards also features another unusual kind of extramusical annotation, which are music theoretical analyses of his own work that Messiaen has included in the score. This marking, for example, means asymmetrical augmentation. Messiaen is explaining the rhythmic process that he's doing right here. These notations from the fifth movement, on the other hand, show Messiaen's harmonic analysis according to his own system of modes. In this highly unusual annotation from the score of his major orchestral work, From the Canyons to the Stars, Messiaen has spelled out a biblical quote in Aramaic, assigning a letter to each chord that the orchestra plays. Regarding these extramusical annotations, my research sought to answer 4 questions. The first, though, and most important of them, was to what extent do these annotations count as part of the piece? Are they a part of it, or are they something separate? I was privileged to be able to pose this question in personal interviews to 2 major Messiaen interpreters, Mark Robeson, who is a well-known performer of the piano repertoire of Messiaen, and Kent Nagano, who was a personal student and protege of Messiaen and is a major interpreter of his orchestral and operatic work. Both men told me that they felt it was possible to give accurate renditions of Messiaen's music without reference to these extramusical annotations, but that the annotations helped in understanding Messiaen's intent and in creating a mood for the performance. Maestro Nagano in particular was adamant that the annotations do represent a part of the music. For example, he told me that when he conducts the third movement of From the Canyons to the Stars, he actually speaks the Aramaic phrase to himself to help with the orchestral phrasing. Ultimately, this question can't really be answered definitively by research, but it is a fascinating question in the aesthetic theory of Messiaen's music, and I had a great time researching it for this paper.